Hello, you're tuned in to Word Power, the podcast where we learn new English words every day.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Zia, and I'm so excited about today's topic because honestly, who doesn't face problems every single day?
You got that right, Zia. I'm Jane, and whether it's a what's for dinner dilemma or a complex work challenge, problems are just part of life. But how we approach them? That's where the magic happens, right?
Absolutely. And that magic often comes down to creative thinking and having the right tools in our mental toolbox. Today, we are not just talking about solving problems, we are going to equip you with some powerful vocabulary to articulate and enhance that process. We're talking about words like innovate, explore, adapt, solve, analyze, develop, and critical.
These aren't just fancy words, they're action verbs and descriptive adjectives that really capture the essence of what it means to be a good problem solver. And as always, we'll break down their pronunciation, meaning, and even give you some handy spelling tips. Let's start with a big one. Innovate.
Innovate, it's pronounced in-o-wate. You hear that stress on the first syllable, innovate. What does it mean to you, Jane, in the context of problem solving?
For me, innovate means introducing something new, fresh, or more effective. It's not just a small tweak, it's often a significant change, a new method or idea. Like, if your usual way of getting to work is always stuck in traffic, innovating might mean trying a completely different route, or even taking a bike, something you hadn't considered before.
That's a great example. It's about breaking free from the old. Think about how smartphones innovated communication. They didn't just improve on existing phones, they redefined the entire experience. For spelling, think of it as INNOVATE, double N like in, and then ovate, kind of like create, but with a V.
Perfect. And speaking of trying new routes, that leads us directly to our next word, explore. It's pronounced explore, with the stress on the second syllable. Explore.
Explore. I love this word. It conjures images of adventurers, doesn't it? But in problem solving, it means to investigate or examine a subject or situation thoroughly. You're trying to learn about it in detail, right?
Exactly. Before you can innovate, you often have to explore. You might explore different angles of a problem, explore potential solutions, explore the resources you have available. It's that initial phase of curiosity and inquiry. Like if your car breaks down, you don't just immediately buy a new one. You explore what might be wrong, what repair options exist, how much they cost.
Exactly. It's about gathering information, mapping out the territory, so to speak. For spelling explore, it's EXPLORE. Think X as in exit, and plore kind of rhymes with lore. It's not too tricky, but the ek at the end makes those say its name.
All right, so once we've innovated a bit, maybe explored some options, what happens when things don't quite go to plan? We need to adapt. This one is DEBT, with the stress on the second syllable. DEBT.
Oh, adapt is crucial. It means to adjust to new conditions. Life throws curveballs, right? You can have the most innovative plan, but if you can't adapt when circumstances change, that plan might crumble. It's about flexibility.
Definitely. Think about when you're cooking and realize you're missing a key ingredient. Do you give up? No. You adapt. You find a substitute, or you change the recipe slightly. That's adapting to a new condition in the kitchen. Or if you're on a team project and a teammate suddenly leaves, you all have to adapt to the new workload.
Fantastic examples. It's about being resilient and finding a way forward, even when the path changes. For spelling adapt, it's ADAPT. It's a pretty straightforward one, often confused with adopt, but adapt is about adjusting yourself for something to fit a situation.
And ultimately, the goal of all this innovating, exploring, and adapting is to solve. Pronounced SOLV. Just one syllable, nice and simple. SOLV.
Yes, solve is the sweet spot, isn't it? It means to find an answer to, or an explanation for, or a means of effectively dealing with a problem or mystery. It's the resolution, the solution.
It's the moment of clarity, when the puzzle pieces finally click into place. You've identified the problem, you've brainstormed, you've tried different approaches, and then boom, you solve it. It's that feeling of accomplishment.
Exactly. And for spelling solve, it's SOLVE. Pretty common word, not too many tricks there. The silent often causes people to miss it, but it's there at the end.
Now, let's circle back to a word we touched on in episode 2, and it's incredibly relevant here. Analyze. Remember this one? It's N-A-Liz. Stress on the first syllable. N-A-Liz.
Oh, I definitely remember analyze. It's one of those foundational words for understanding anything deeply. In problem solving, it means to examine something methodically and in detail, especially data or information, to explain and interpret it. It's breaking things down into their component parts.
Right. Before you can truly solve a complex problem, you have to analyze it. What are its root causes? What are the contributing factors? Who is affected? What data do we have? It's like a detective meticulously examining clues at a crime scene.
That's a perfect analogy, and for spelling analyze, it's Analyze. Remember that in the middle and the Z sound. Some people spell it with an S instead of a Zi, analyze, but analyze with a Z is common in American English.
After we've analyzed and perhaps solved a piece of the puzzle, we often need to develop something further. Develop is pronounced develop, with the stress on the second syllable. Develop.
Develop means to grow or cause to grow and become more mature, advanced, or elaborate. In problem solving, it's about refining, building upon, or bringing a solution to fruition. You might develop a prototype, develop a strategy, or develop your skills.
Exactly. You don't just solve a problem and walk away. Often, that solution needs to be developed. You might develop a new training program for your team after realizing they had a skill gap, or develop a more robust process to prevent the problem from recurring. It's about continuous improvement.
Definitely, it's about moving from a basic idea to a fully realized functional solution. For spelling develop, it's develop. Be careful not to put an A at the end like envelope, it's just develop. No silent here.
And finally, a word that ties all of this together, critical. This word is critical, with the stress on the first syllable. Critical.
Critical has a couple of meanings, but in the context of problem solving, it means involving objective analysis and evaluation in order to form a judgment. It's about critical thinking, not just accepting things at face value, but really dissecting them.
This is so important. Being a critical thinker means you're not afraid to question assumptions, to look for biases, to weigh evidence carefully. It's absolutely critical for effective problem solving because if you can't critically assess the problem or the proposed solutions, you might end up solving the wrong thing or creating new problems.
That's so true. It's about intellectual rigor. And for spelling critical, it's critical. The crit part is like critic and then the common adjective ending ical.
So we've walked through innovate, explore, adapt, solve, analyze, develop, and critical. These words aren't just vocabulary, they're a framework for approaching any challenge.
Absolutely. Think about how they fit together. You might critically analyze a problem, then explore different innovative solutions, adapt your approach based on what you learn, develop a plan, and then finally solve the problem. It's a cycle.
And for our listeners trying to integrate these words, remember our tips for learning vocabulary. Don't just memorize them, use them. Try to innovate your daily routine, explore a new idea at work, adapt your perspective in a conversation, write them down, say them aloud.
Create flashcards, write sentences using each word, or even just try to consciously sprinkle them into your conversations throughout the week. The more you engage with them, the more they become part of your active vocabulary.
It's all about making these words your own, so they're readily available when you need to articulate a complex idea or approach a problem creatively. And that's what we want for all of you, to feel confident and empowered in your problem-solving journey.
Precisely. So next time you face a challenge, don't just look for a quick fix. Take a moment to think, how can I critically analyze this? What can I explore? How can I innovate my approach? How will I adapt if things change? And what will I develop to truly solve this?
That's a fantastic mindset to cultivate, Zia. It really shows how these words aren't just definitions, but powerful tools for growth and success in every aspect of life. We hope this episode has given you some valuable insights and, of course, some new words to add to your repertoire.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 7. We love having you with us on this journey of learning and growth. Keep those creative juices flowing, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye for now, everyone. Go forth and innovate.
Hello, you're tuned in to Word Power, the podcast where we learn new English words every day.